Bantz, and we are joined by the lovely Josh Goodin, aka the Diamond. Excellent, exciting, talented middleweight boxer with amazing record of 2 wins. Welcome, Josh. We're happy to have you here with us.
You're putting some extra pounds on me there because I'm fighting at light middleweight, but my 2 bouts have been at middleweight. It's because I love my food too much. I mean, both my professional fights. Actually, one of them was when my mum was back in the country, so that's why I weighed in heavy, because she was just cooking too much ackee callaloo. In St Vincent, the national dish is breadfruit and saltfish. So she brought back loads of breadfruit from St Vincent, and that's why I weighed in at like 74 kilos as opposed to 72.
Nice. So Josh, talk to me. The Diamond, where does that come from? Because you're known as the Diamond.
Specifically, like my adult life, I mean, I go back to St Vincent a lot, and the West Indies, and I really came intertwined in my sort of cultural heritage and really understanding that a lot more, and became passionate about it. Ever more so. I mean, raised by a single mother who immigrated from St Vincent when she was 19 years old, and St Vincent's really all I've known, and what you'll see is on the flag there's 3 diamonds on the Vincentian flag. So when choosing a name, it was quite easy for me. Now the diamond has a real renaissance to it, and I really resonate with that. And it's not just a name to me; it's a part of me.
Wow,
interesting.
Yeah. So you train at Bad Boys Gym in Nottingham, is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Amazing. So how often do you train there? And also, obviously, we are in second lockdown. Mm-hmm. Are you training now?
The pro boxing has been allowed to commence still, and elite sport. So like the boxing gym's open for professionals. So sort of I was able to stay fit throughout the summer. So for my mental health and sort of from my training perspective, I mean, it was a godsend. However, and I've got to consider my blessings there. And that's why I didn't complain through the whole of lockdown, because there was people in worse off positions than myself. So training is really intense for me. Bad Boys Boxing Gym remains open for professionals only. And then we're training again at 5 today. So after this, going to go back for another nap and train later on.
You're going to need it.
Yeah. I mean, I can't say too much, but we're working towards a fight date. Obviously, that's COVID dependent, and there's a lot of considerations that can happen. But I mean, I think sort of promoters are starting to know who I am now.
Yeah. Well,
make sure you do. Make sure you do keep us posted as well. If you
I will.
You'll have a fight coming up.
You'll get the exclusive one, Sam.
Yay!
Love that. So, talk to us a little bit about your amateur career, Josh.
Okay. Good question. I mean, you might have seen that I put up a post a couple of days ago. I've only been boxing really seriously probably around 4 years, and that's 4 years total, including my amateurs. And the post was actually put up by my coach, who was actually an amateur boxer at the time. Big up Derek _Supercoach to anyone that's following. And yeah, that was my amateur debut over in Grimsby. It was horrible, cold night. And yeah, made my debut there, and I knew I was destined for this sport off the back of that debut, and I'll tell you a number of reasons why. One, in the first round, I'm absolutely dominating against this big guy. Like I scared the hell out of him. Like he didn't want to fight me from minute one, and I didn't understand why, because I was just like, okay, I'm just going in there. And then I do a little bit of a shuffle in the second round. No one does that on their amateur debut. No one does that, and it's on recording, and one day I'll release it. But I do a bit of a shuffle, then I do a bit of the Chris Eubank senior walk, where he postures and poses, and the crowd loved it. It was entertaining. I won the fight, but how I knew I was really built for the sport was never been down, never been hurt. ever, but I was cruising the sport, like to get the fight so easily. With the last 20 seconds left to go, I had my hands down. I was arrogant. I was putting my chin out, going like that to the opponent to hit me, and he did. He put me down, and it just felt like lights out. And then I got back up, didn't even know I was down, and then won the fight. Didn't know how. Woke up 2 days in hospital, and I had concussion. I blanked out, and then when I watched the recording back, I get up and I managed to evade the shots, hold on, and I make it through. And it was a serious gut check, because it was just like, wow, like this is how serious the sport is. You could be as good and as fit, but one punch can change it all.
So you don't remember really that the rest of that fight then, basically? It's kind of like a blank for you.
No, I almost just remember like things just blanking out, and then I was up and I see the opponent come at me, then just blanking out. I can't recollect the sort of next, X amount of hours or next couple of days. But as an amateur, I had 12 fights as an amateur, only 12.
So just going back a little bit, was you a university lecturer?
Yeah, I was. How do you know that?
We do a lot of digging.
Yeah. Was that before or after? Becoming an amateur or pro? At what point was that in your life?
I studied sport and exercise science. Didn't know what I wanted to do. Didn't even know sort of 10, 12 years ago if I would even get into university or whatnot. And if I was academically correct enough, I was prior to that on a wayward path. And I came up to Nottingham, done a degree, and I had a mentor that sort of saw me for who I was or who I was trying to be. And that, I wasn't the most sort of talented kid academically, but I tell you what, I would graft and I would try until I got something. And I came out with a fairly decent degree, and he managed to secure me some funding to do a master's. His name's Martin Lewis, and then ended up securing me more funding to do a PhD, which I started in sports science and recovery, and I was lecturing at the university at the same time. And that's when I found Errol McDonald, who's my boxing coach, my manager, and he convinced me to box.
Wow, do you feel like you made the right decision in terms of, sort of leaving that behind?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. God's greatest gift come on the other side of fear. And one of the reasons why I didn't pursue a boxing career is because I was scared. I was scared what would happen. I was scared about failure. And I picked a safe route. And that safe route was, at the time presented to me, was academia. I have absolutely no regrets. I get scared about what can happen in boxing. My biggest fear is selling myself short. And prior to that, my biggest fear was losing. And now that I understand that the victory, in life, is just pursuing wholeheartedly what you want to do and what you want out of life, and that's why I have no regrets.
Sounds like you made the right choice to me.
Yeah.
So how did you know when it was the right time to turn pro? What kind of triggered that for you, and what differences have you noticed between the amateurs and the pros?
Knew when to turn pro the moment I had my debut and I was shoulder shuffling my opponent. I knew I would turn pro after that. I just knew it. I knew I had sort of the razzmatazz. I knew I had the flair. When the crowd were roaring, I was in an away crowd fighting a home opponent, and they were roaring for me. They were saying, they were going, go on. Like I was watching the video back, and they were just screaming for me. And I was humbled by it. And so I knew from then, it was just a ticking. It was just a clock ticking to when I would turn professional. The amateurs, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the accolades, but I just knew I wanted to entertain.
So I know we touched on Anthony Yarde. Well, you did. We noticed that you're like
lines in the camp.
We see similarities. Do you see that in yourself with Anthony Yarde? And do you hear it a lot?
I do hear it a lot, and I don't. I think it's. I think I don't mind it at all, because I really rate Anthony Yarde. I think he's a quality fighter, and he's a handsome guy. So obviously people are saying I'm handsome. So I get the similarities. Part of me thinks it's a bit lazy, because I cane roll my hair for fights, and like we were similar skin complexions, and sometimes I go into a shoulder tight roll position. But I think if the more people watch me, they'll understand that my style isn't as much like Anthony Yarde. I'm a lot more lighter on my feet. I show different angles a lot more, and yeah, I put my punches together in twos and threes and fours, where he likes to catch and counter a lot. And I want to be known as the Diamond. Like, I don't want to be known as Anthony Yarde's number 2 or Anthony Yarde's little brother. And that's no disrespect to him. I just feel like I'm creating my own path and my own journey. And I want to sort of be out there on my own and on that own path. But I really do understand it, because yeah, he's a beast. He's a beast. So being compared to another lion is better than being compared to a sheep. So I'll take it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So you had your pro debut last year against. Let me try and get this right, actually, because it's pronunciation. Arvidas Trisno.
Yeah, that's good.
Do you remember kind of like how you felt going into that fight, and after how you felt after you won it? Because I mean, I thought you completely controlled it, completely bossed that fight all the way through.
Yeah, I don't know how to conceptualize this, and how to make people resonate with it, because I really don't suffer with nerves, and that's probably what allows me to stay relaxed. As an amateur, I used to sleep up until 15 minutes, sleep in the change rooms up until 15 minutes before my fight. And like some people used to just think I was crazy, but it was just sort of my way of staying relaxed and staying fluid. But now what I'm noticing is as a professional, especially having to sit down on your punches a lot more. You have to be warmer quickly. You have to be more up for it, more aroused, I should say. So I'm working in essentially sort of elevating my nerves and elevating sort of my anxiety. I felt really comfortable in there. I mean, there was a lot that went on that fight week. An opponent pulled out. Got a big props to Arvidas Trisno. On 2 days' notice, he flew out to take the fight. And what a lot of people don't know about Arvidas, and I don't know, I didn't know this about him. And one of the reasons why I do stay so calm is because I don't really research into my opponents too much. I believe there can at times be something called paralysis by analysis. So you could overanalyze a situation, and that's in all walks of life. Like, you could overanalyze, like, oh, should I buy this handbag today? I just don't do it. I just make a decision there and there, then and there, and that just eradicates all. I'm
totally the opposite. I'm the most indecisive person ever. Literally, I overanalyze everything. It's so
Dairy milk or Galaxy? What are you going for, ladies? Dairy milk or Galaxy? Don't analyze it. Just pick it. You'll enjoy both of them. Oh. So it was a real proud moment. It was actually like, it was the stuff of dreams. I'll never ever forget that moment. Just walking out the ring and seeing so many people proud of me, and my mums especially. But yeah. So yeah, like I didn't know too much about Arvidas, but then when it came, like, and I had the interview after the fight, they was like, oh, you do know he's had actually 27 wins and he's had over 100 fights, and he fought for a WBC international title, so he's no like mug. Like, he's not your typical journeyman. And I was like, oh, okay, so actually that win was probably a little bit better than what I thought it was. And then when I went through his record and saw he fought Junior Witter and Chris Congo and some really good names, I was like, okay, I'd probably done a bit better than what I thought I would do. But that sort of allowed me to stay relaxed, and I thought I put on a good show. I didn't really know how many gears I had, and I would have liked to think if I was ever in that position again, like, I would have got him out of there, because I had just so much more in the tank left. I mean, I don't drink, but that night I did.
But do boxers drink though?
Yeah, some boxers drink. Some boxers drink.
But moderately, right? Not excessive.
I don't know. It really depends. I mean, I've came across some boxers that love going out for a pint of beer on a weekend, and you say it's moderate, but they'll get steaming. Like, I mean, I when I say I drink, or when I say I rarely drink, it is a rare occasion. Like, you'll catch me with an alcoholic beverage probably once a year, if that.
And so congratulations on your win against Victor Edgar. He has 71 losses to date. Was it inevitable that you knew you was going to win?
I was absolutely gutted when I found out he was my opponent. I'll tell you why.
Why? Yeah.
He is the most awkward guy I've seen in my life, and I watched him fight. I didn't know he was my opponent until I saw him at the weigh-in, because like I said, I don't really study too much, and I watched him about, I don't know, 2 months before my pro debut, let's say April times last year, and he was fighting a guy called Carl Hughes, who's based up in Nottingham, and one of my teammates was on the card, so I was there, and I remember watching him thinking, oh my God, forget ever fighting him. Like, he moves around the ring a lot. He knows what he's doing. The reason why he rarely gets stopped is because he knows exactly what he's doing. He knows he's going to make it awkward. He's not going to get hit much. He's just going to run around the ring and throw these looping punches to keep you on your toes. And I remember seeing him and I was thinking, oh my God, this is going to be a horrible night's work. I mean, I managed to put him down in the second round. He touched the canvas, but the ref didn't give him in the third round. And I mean, it was comfortable, and I knew obviously I had the ability to win. But like I said, we go back to my first fight as an amateur. One punch can change it all. So I knew I had to be ticked on, and I knew I had to win.
We saw an Instagram video of you kind of doing I think in the gym, doing a bit of a kind of semi-dance routine to a Burna Boy track while you were training. Is that quite typical of you? Like, is that a pre-rehearsed thing? Is it just?
You know what? I was in the gym by myself, and I was just like my coach. He used to train partially at the Ingle gym in Sheffield, and so the Ingle gym is synonymous with being sort of like Dominic and his father Brendan Ingle used to teach the boxers how to dance whilst throwing punches, and so Errol sort of who sort of followed that same sort of philosophy always used to get us to dance with the head movement, rolling, and it just allows me to sort of stay relaxed and like you're moving your head to the beat. And I just thought, you know what, I was really feeling that song by Burna Boy, Deja Vu. I was just like, let me just put on the camera and see how it turns out. I put it on, and I'll be deadly honest with you, that was just the first take. And when I was looking for it, I was thinking, should I post this? I was like, I missed a couple of beats here. Would anyone pick it up? So yeah, and then I thought, you know what, let me post that. I'll see what the reaction was, and the reaction was quite funny. It was quite like people sort of felt it and sort of felt the rhythm of it. And yeah, I mean, for me, it's just something that I do. I'm always putting on soca and dancehall in the gym. I get told off for it all the time because people just want to hear something different. But for me, it's just me embracing the culture and embracing the beat and the rhythm.
Nice. We enjoyed it. We loved it.
Oh, thank you.
So also on your Instagram bio, you've got a phrase on there that says "hard earned, not given." Mm-hmm. What does that mean to you?
I mean, like, I don't really like express it, but it was difficult growing up. I mean, I was raised by a single mother, and we had it tough. Like, she was in between jobs much of her early sort of growing life as a mother, and she set the foundation when she said, look, I just want an office job to make sure I've got a house for my son, and she's my biggest, like, she's my idol, she's my role model, because she ended up going from being a factory worker at Burberry when she came to the country, to essentially setting up her own car rental fleet. I remember when I was about sort of 10, 12 years old. For many years, we were sleeping in the same bed in a spare room in my grandma's house. And yeah, it was tough. And it was even tough to where I can talk about sort of the last couple of years of my life, where it was like I was working a full-time job. I would get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I would do my runs. I would run to work, work a 9 to 5 at a company called Muscle Food. And then I would go from training from 6 till 9 p.m, train and come home and repeat. And I'd done that for like 3-4 years. For 2-3 years. Into a point where I can buy a house, and I bought a couple of properties, and now I'm renting them out, and that's allowed me to go full time with the boxing. So now when people see me as a property owner, it's like, oh, you're lucky you can go full time. No, it was hard earned. It wasn't given. That was hard graft. And anyone that says to me, oh, you're lucky. Oh, you're in a well good position. You're lucky. I was just like, no, there weren't no luck about it, brother. Like, this was difficult. And there was a lot of pain along the journey. There was a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of friendships lost. But we made it.
So just a few opinions on the Wilder accusation. What do you think of that?
I don't want to swear. 2 reasons. I don't swear in front of women, and I don't want to swear on this channel. But he's a fudging idiot. Oh, come on.
Yeah,
like,
just say fucking idiot. Mate.
You girls are definitely from the city.
Crazy.
It's just deluded. Like, I mean, you have to have some sort of self-awareness, and that's one of the reasons why I really believe I can go to the top, is because I'm not deluded in my abilities. Like, I know I'm 27. I know I'm not the fastest. I know I'm not the strongest. I know I'm not the most technically gifted. But what I do know is I've got phenomenal footwork. And I've got phenomenal timing, so I work on those. And when someone's strong and coming forward to me, I don't try and go ball for ball, because they'll probably beat me. And I've just got that self-awareness. And some fighters have this arrogance about them, that, no problem with confidence with a little touch of arrogance, but almost that arrogance where they convince themselves that they have this trait that's better than what it is. You have to be self-aware in this sport, otherwise you're going to get hurt. And I think self-awareness is prevalent in any walk of life. Like, if you know you're good at a particular thing, well, exacerbate that, exaggerate it, and you'll become perfect at that thing. Where Deontay Wilder, he is just so deluded. Like, his arrogance has gone to delusion, that he honestly believes, like, he can't take it that Tyson Fury beat him. He is trying to, like, first it was the ring walk, first it was the weight of the suit, then it was the gloves, then it was Mark Breland. Like you gotta be, like, come on, man, that was a loyal brother, like Mark Breland. Like, if you lose, it's like, just pick yourself up and brush again, brush yourself off and go again. And like, he has got that one punch. And if he was just sort of more self-aware and say, oh, the reason why I lost him is because of X, Y, and Z, he might even have a chance of beating Tyson Fury in the future, because he has that one punch. But because he's not self-aware, I don't think he has any chance, because he'll go in with the same tactics. Tyson Fury will bully him again. And I think Anthony Joshua absolutely eats him alive. You just have to take your losses as a learning curve. And I can't believe a big man like him, 30 odd years old, like, can't just say, I lost. He's a big man. It's not even like he's 21 years old. Like, big man. Like, come on.
I'm still shocked. But
still shocked. Yeah.
But so Dillian Whyte and Povetkin obviously has been postponed. Was you looking forward to that fight?
Yeah. I think Dillian Whyte eats him next time. I mean, he made a mistake, and that's what I like about Dillian Whyte. Like, he's just a polar opposite to Deontay Wilder in terms of mentality. He was like, I made a mistake. I know I made a mistake. I got beaten. Okay, well, what we're going to do is we're going to rectify that mistake. It's not going to happen, and I'm going to beat the guy. And I think it's we can go into sort of technical aspects, but I think it's just as simple as that. He knows what he needs to do now. He's seen it. He's aware enough. He never once ever said, "Oh, it was a lucky punch," or Mark Tibbs like came back because he was angry at him because I sacked him as his coach and he put something in my COVID test. He didn't make up no delusional excuse. Just said, all right, I lost and I want a rematch. I'm going to get him back.
And Josh, just lastly, you know, you mentioned, you spoke about talks of an upcoming fight for yourself. So when could we expect to see that, you know, return to the ring? Would that be some point next year, most likely?
Well, we're hoping by the end of the year. We're hoping before Christmas. And we're hoping it's going to be on either a streaming platform or some sort of televised show. Again, like my management team are working tirelessly, and I've got to give props to them because I'm a really difficult person to work with. I'm a diva. I know I am. I throw my dollies out the pram like quite easily. But one thing with me is I give it direct. I give it straight. I still love you, and that's it. Like I have little back and forth with my coaches, my teammate, and then next day we hug and make up. Like they're my family, and we can fall out, but they're still my family. Like you can fall out with family, so they know that I've been on their cases like 24/7. Like anytime I see a promoter that's got a little bit of a sniff of a fight, I'm like, put my name in the hat. I don't care if it's for a regional title, for a British title, for an English title. Put my name in a hat. I'm ready. I've been sparring some really talented fighters. I want to give a shout out to those fighters, especially like Linus, who's a fellow Luton boy, who actually was kind enough and humbled enough to welcome me down to his camp just before he fought John Harding Jr. And trained with him. And so I've been sparring at that sort of level, and I know I'm at that sort of level. So if an opportunity comes up, like even though at 2-0 and at that tender stage, as long as the board will permit it, I'm going to win it. And so yeah, I did try and be a sneaky one and put a little campaign together to try and get on the Ultimate Boxer card next Tuesday, just because I'm just ready. And like, if they've got to pull out on the card, injuries happen, but I'm ready. And like, I know I would light up the show. Like whoever they put me in, they could put me in with a 50-50 fight. I would light it up. And so like, if they want entertainment, I look no further. So that's to any promoters out there. If you want entertainment on your show, Mick Hennessy, get me on your Channel 5 show. Frank Warren, get me on your BT Sports show. And Eddie Hearn, if you're going to do another Matchroom show in your garden, listen, like I'll plant some flowers in your garden.
We'd love to see that. We'd love to see that.
Yes, definitely. And we would love to be, just keep us updated. Josh, look, it's been amazing.
Amazing.
It's insane. It's off this scale. We've loved having you on this show. Tell the people where they can find you on the socials and big up any sponsors. Okay, well, let's go to for Instagram. Make sure you hit me up on Josh TD Goodin. So TD stands for the diamond. So Josh TD Goodin on Instagram. Snapchat will be coming soon. Like my management team keep getting on to me about getting Snapchat. I'm a bit lazy with it, but on Facebook, Josh Diamond Goodin Boxer, and on Twitter, I'm not really active on Twitter, but Josh Goodin 03. And then to the sponsors, I want to actually give a massive special thank you to Smith Drylining, a Luton company. I actually used to travel on the bus with one of the owners to school. Like I used to travel 5 miles or 5 to 10 miles to school every day, and he used to live at a local school. Yeah, they've been humble enough to support me throughout COVID specifically. So tough times have came upon them, but they didn't like waver and still supporting me. So that is just most humbling. I think that's one of the reasons why I can't quit, because so many people have had belief in me, and Smith Dryland specifically. So, and also the crepe cleaner. So, I mean, you ladies, like we'll hook you up. Like you ever need your crepes cleaning. So if you've got all your fancy shoes, the crepe cleaner got you. And a new addition to the team is the Turmeric Company, owned by a gentleman called Thomas Robson Carnew, who plays for West Bromwich Albion. So
he essentially owns a company that provide turmeric shots. They've just come on board as a sponsor, and I'm an ambassador for the company. So you'll see some more posts through there. So turmeric also helps with recovery and has got a number of antioxidant benefits. So they're the three main sponsors. And anyone welcome to come on board and join the Diamonds journey. Well, we're going to be lighting shit up. So come on board. And I want to say a special thank you to you both for having me on the show. Absolute diamonds, the both of you. And I really love what you're doing. I'm going to be supporting it to the fullest, and making sure we spoke briefly before we went on how you're two females in the industry that essentially going to take over. And you ladies are, the questions were phenomenal. And I'm fully on board, because it's not female boxing and male boxing anymore. It's boxing, and where both genders are intertwined with equality.
Josh, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a great interview. So we are KD and Sham at Boxing and Bantz, and don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.